So, Ryan, let's prediction time. So, it's that time, right? I mean, I've been struggling with these predictions all week. We did put an article up today at irishbreakdown.com where we had the entire staff's predictions. I'll just give you some of them for the guys that are not here. Sean Davis predicted Notre Dame to win 23-10.
Hmm.
Sean Stiers predicted Notre Dame to win 26-17, and Andrew McDonough predicted Notre Dame to win 23-13. So, Ryan, what is your score prediction and how do you see this game playing out? And you can cheat a little bit if you want to go, this is how I see it, but this is how it could go because I'm going to do that when I talk.
I'll just keep it to how I kind of pictured it in my prediction. So I'm pretty much on the same wavelength as most of those guys. I think our scores are pretty similar in that effect. So I had 27-13 Notre Dame wins. I think more than anything though, Brian, this is a very optimistic perspective in the sense that I think Notre Dame is going to dominate this football game.
Sure.
Right. Like I think that I think it's going to be a 27-13 where you're like, Notre Dame dominated that football game. Like it was never actually that close in their opinion, right? So that's where I'm going right now. I think that you're going to be able to loosen up the interior of the defense with a good running game. I think and you're going to have a good running game, and I think you're going to be turnover free offensively. Defense is going to keep doing what we've seen for the most part over the first two games. Like it's a little inconsistent against Marshall, but it's still been pretty sound for the most part. So 27-13 Notre Dame.
So I kind of cheated a little bit in my prediction. My prediction is 20-16. Notre Dame wins 20-16. And the reality is the reason I went there is because I'm not going to be a believer in this offense until they show it to me. Here's what I believe. I believe Tommy Rees is a really smart guy. I think Tommy Rees is a really smart guy when it comes to scheme. Where the inexperience has hurt him, in my opinion, is there's a lot more to it to being a really good play caller than just being a really smart scheme guy. There is a rhythm to it. There is a process to it. There is a chess match aspect to it that I don't know that he's always shown. He definitely hasn't shown in the first couple games this year. I think we saw it at times last year, especially off the script. They were really good coming out of the gate late last year. What I need to see is that Coach Rees can figure out how to be more process-oriented with that. And the bigger thing for me, where I think that I need to see it from Coach Rees, where I'm just now at the point where I'm not going to predict it until he shows it to me, is that he can go out and get a team ready to play Monday to Friday. And we're just not seeing that right now. And you know, last year it's a different story. You had an offensive head coach, and again, I think sometimes that was a bad thing for Notre Dame, as I mentioned. But there was at least a process that was laid out for them. Okay, now you have a defensive head coach, and everybody's made a big stink of this when he was hired. You were hired before the head coach was, right? So people in the administration had a lot of faith that you were going to get this done, and it's time to prove that because. If the other stuff that goes, and I've said this a million times, Ryan, I don't care how smart an offensive coordinator is. What matters and your success is not built on how smart you are. Your success is built on how smart you can make your players. That's the key. And for me, until Coach Rees shows me he can do that, and I believe he's capable of it, I just need to see it. Then it's hard for me to kind of go with a more convincing victory unless it's the defense or special team setting up scores. Now, the other part of what I said was in my prediction is if Notre Dame does come out and do what I think they need to do, we see they're spreading the field. They're maybe pushing the tempo a little bit. They're using Chris Tyree more effectively. They're using the pass game more effectively. They're doing some of the different concepts that we've talked about. They're able to take some shots. Drew Pine doesn't turn the ball over. If they come out and play their game and we do see Coach Rees make some of those adjustments, 34-13 would be my prediction. If I had confidence in the offense, that's what I would see because I feel like once you get Cal down, then Plummer starts to panic, and then he makes mistakes, and then that's when you put him away. So that's kind of how I would see it if I had confidence in the Notre Dame offense. But right now, until they show me that they can block, that they can play with fire, that they can execute, that they can compete for balls, that the quarterback's going to make the throws that are there, I can't go there. They're capable of a convincing win. but I'm not going to predict a convincing win until they show me that they're capable of playing the way they need to play on offense. And so that's where I'm at. So 20-16 is my prediction, is my official prediction. But if the offense does what I think they're capable of doing, then I do think this could be a convincing victory for Notre Dame. I just I'm going to have to believe it when I see it. That's really a big key for me at this point in time.
It's a show me business, man. So I'm there with you. Like, I need to see it, but I'm going to be optimistic until I can't be optimistic anymore. Right. Like if they lay a goose egg, then it's going to start kind of changing my predictions on a week-to-week basis. But
yes,
I think for me that I still believe in the talent on this team, and I still believe in Marcus Freeman. So I think that they're going to come
you're
out.
predicting what should happen.
Yes.
That's what you're predicting. You're predicting what should happen, and that's how I've always predicted. But at this point in time, I'm changing my stance until they show me that they can do that. So I'm sympathetic to that.
Well, no, I think that it's a good thought process for you, from being honest, right? Like it's something where your analyst is telling you, like, I need to see it before I can believe in it, right? And I totally get that. Get that, and I respect that. It's just, I Notre Dame's just a more talented team, man. They are, and I know they're not playing well. But
13 is the score of what Notre Dame won by the last time Jack Plummer was a quarterback in this stadium. And I would argue
that's funny. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, as much as I like the players at Cal, Purdue had better players, especially at the top. I mean, with all due respect to J. Michael Sermon, he may eventually be better than David Bell. Wasn't last year.
Now. Yep.
Right? And the offensive line at Purdue was significantly better, and it wasn't great. And as much as I like the players at Cal, there's no George Karlaftis on that team.
There's no George Karlaftis.
That was a quality defensive team early in the season. They wore down a little bit late, but that was a quality defensive team. And so, Notre Dame won with big plays against them last year. If you think it was a competitive game, Notre Dame hit a couple big plays. Can they do that in this game? That's a legitimate question.
Yep.
And it's one that we need to see an answer to.